Romania is a country in southeastern Europe. It is a poor country and it has had a really turbulent history over the years. And this is the state of Romania in 1860, when the principalities of Kara and Moldavia unified in 1859 under the election of Alexander Young Koza. And Transylvania was under Austrian rule until 1867, when the compromise left it under Hungarian rule, becoming to the Hungarian nation. And Romania was dominated by the Ottoman Empire. This part here was dominated by the Ottoman Empire, and this part here dominated by the Ottoman Empire until 1878. This part here was dominated by the Austrians and Hungarians. And even now, if you go to Romania, you can still see a difference between this area and this area in terms of development and infrastructure as well. So, after the Crimean War in 1859, the principalities of Moldavia and Kara elected Alexander Young Koza. His rule was only meant to last until his death. He was deposed in 1866 by the nobles, who disliked his liberal policies of free schooling, land reform, etc., giving peasants more rights over their land as well, which really hacked the nobility off. They were just to come from their own pockets. Alexander Young Koza was actually involved in a corruption scandal. Corruption has always been a real problem in Romania, not just today. As you saw last year, Ponta was actually arrested. Our former Prime Minister was actually arrested for corruption scandal, apparently. And the Romanian nobles elected Charles of Hesse-Sigmaringen, who had close ties with the Prussian royal family. Bismarck and Napoleon III both supported his election as prince. And Karol I would rule Romania for 42 years of prosperity and peace for the country. And he helped modernise Romania, hence why he is sometimes called the founder of the modern Romanian nation. And this is Romania, the situation with the Balkans in 1878. And the Romanian principalities enjoyed freedom, or relative freedom, compared to the other countries who were in direct control of the Porti in Istanbul. As long as they pay a tribute, they can make their own laws, etc. But they had to pay a heavy tribute to the Sultan. And also rulers had to go to the Istanbul and kiss the Sultan's slipper. A bit like Prime Minister David Cameron kissing the Junkers' shoe. The War of Independence, Razvoy Independența Romania, was fought between 1877 and 1878. The Romanians helped the Russians defeat the Turks in the 1877 to 1878 Russo-Turkish War. Here is a Turk kissing the shoe of Karol I. For many centuries, the Romanian rulers were on the other side. Now the Turks were here, bowing to Karol's shoe. But the joy of independence was short-lived when the Russians stole Bessarabia, and it was a real dodgy move by Russia. And it was like the Russians stabbed their former ally in the back. The Romanians have never forgotten this. And in 1881, Monarchia Romana, the regularly Karol I, originally Elizabeta, the Romanian King and Queen were crowned in 1881, May 1881, and it was a fanfare. And the Romanians who experienced backstabbing from the Russians, Karol I signed a secret alliance with Austria-Hungary and Germany. The alliance with Austria-Hungary was obviously too controversial for the Romanian public to know. So Karol I, except for a few hand-picked ministers, kept the alliance secret. But Carol refers to the Russian expansion and Russian influence into Romania. And Bismarck was the architect of the Triple Alliance, as you all know. He was very keen to have Romania on board, particularly Romania possessed vast quantities of oil and grain, which was very important to Romania's economic history coming to the early 20th century. And German influence came through loans, through investment in railways, etc. But the Romanians were happy with German investment in German relations. But the Romanians really had an awkward position with Austria-Hungary, since the Hungarians were set about marginalisation of the Romanian majority in Transylvania, which proved a hotbed in Romanian political circles and Romanian newspapers and media as well. And as you can see, the Romanians just here form the absolute majority in Transylvania. But the Hungarians would have none of it. And the Hungarians were basically here, as they've always been for 1,000 centuries. But the Romanians formed the majority of this area. And secondly, Hungarians were put here to colonise the Romanians. And the Saxons were put here as well to colonise the Romanians, but they weren't so bad. And the Romanians lived in Transylvania, Argyll, as second-class citizens for many centuries. And when Romania became independent, the grim unification with Transylvania increased. In 1893, Prince Ferdinand, Carol's first nephew, married Princess Marie of Edinburgh, and she was the daughter of Alfred Duke of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, who was the son of Queen Victoria. And the alliance played a crucial role into the 20th century. And Marie proved to be a Romanian patriot, and she served as a nurse in the Balkan Wars, in the Second Balkan War, and during the First World War as well. But during the early 20th century and in the late 19th century, she was actually dominated by Elizabeth and Carol. And her children's upbringing was dictated to from Elizabeth and Carol. But the marriage proved a happy one, and they had many children as well. But with Maria's link to the British royal family, it really did sway the way Romania would go in the First World War. In the Second Balkan War, the Romanian army was really put to the test. I mean, the last serious conflict the Romanian army was involved in was the crushing of the 1907 Peasants' Uprising. But before that, the last international conflict was obviously the 1877 to 1878 war. Romania remained neutral in the First Balkan War, but Romanians were not happy with their gains from the First Balkan War that were against Russia. And the Romanian army was poorly trained and poorly equipped as well. And it was led by incompetent leaders. Hence, you see the word corruption coming up in Romanian politics as well. And corruption affected the Romanian army as well, since many of the generals preferred to spend their time at the horse races, at the Bucharest Hippodrome, etc., indulging in luxury. And up to the First World War, the Romanian government wanted to maintain a budget surplus and were worried about getting increased foreign debt. Because Bulgaria really did go around Europe for the European banks to ask for money. But many European banks refused. But the Germans finally, because they knew that Bulgaria would be a powerful ally, loaned Bulgaria 500 million marks with harsh terms. And obviously Bulgaria was now changed to the German alliance. And the Romanians wanted to avoid the same fate. Although Romania had good relations with Germany, it did not want to be a German or French pawn, like happening with the Turks, etc. So we just be paying tribute back, so we wouldn't be independent whatsoever. And the Romanian army, there were really some sort of logistical errors proved out, and the army nearly did starve in northern Bulgaria. But it was a victory, but hardly a shot was fired because the Bulgarians were south, dealing with the Greeks, Serbs and Turks, because Bulgaria caused the Second Balkan War by attacking Serbia and Greece. And the Ottoman Turks saw this as a chance to regain the territory they lost to the Bulgarians in the First Balkan War. And the Romanian army managed to actually nearly capture Sofia without a single shot being fired. And the Romanian army enjoyed an inflating reputation during the first years of the First World War, which is why it was courted by both powers. But mobilisation, as Eric von Falkenhayn said, mobilisation killed the Romanian army. It did not have enough weapons, trench mortars wasn't fit for modern warfare, and most of the privates who came from peasantry were illiterate as well. And those who were generals were actually indulged in corruption, gambling. Many were well read in the military classics, etc., but they're totally unfit to lead an army for modern warfare. And the Romanians only had 1,300 armaments and were very poorly equipped with trench guns. Lack of trench guns, ammunition, poison gas really did weaken the Romanian army. And it had oil. Romania had an important source, oil and grain. The Germans were very interested in Romanian oil. And as the war progressed, from July 1914, the Romanians decided to stay neutral. And this was a good reason. Karl I wanted to join the Germans, as he was actually German blood, and he had a very good relationship with the Berlin. But the Romanians, who were pro-French, didn't want to join hands with Austria-Hungary, who was suppressing the Romanians in Transylvania. So in August 1914, at Castello-Peleș, the Romanian Crown Council voted to stay neutral. This killed Karl I, and he was depressed, begging, and he actually died in October 1914. Succeeded by his nephew, Prince Ferdinand of Romania. Prince Ferdinand, at first he was seen as weak and he wasn't very good at diplomatic skills, and that was left to his wife, Queen Marie. But towards the end of the war, Ferdinand gained credibility and respect among the Romanian people and the political elite of Europe as well. And his wife was the major influence on Ferdinand's decision to enter Romania into the Allied side. And when Romania did enter the Allied side, his family, Hans and Sigmaringen, raised the black flag from the castle, and he was excommunicated by the Catholic Church. This was later restored.